Welcome to another episode of Plastic Profiles. I am Agent Chuckles, and with me, as always,
Steve, the writing dad. What's going on?
And today we have a very special guest, Rock and Roll. Rock and Roll was my first figure as a lad, way back in 1982. Straight armed Rock and Roll. This very figure we're going to look at. One of the very figures we're going to look at.
That's what we have.
I have a special place in my heart for Rock and Roll. He didn't get much use in the cartoons, but comic Rock and Roll got some time. So anyway, but this is Plastic Profiles. So we're looking at the original Rock and Roll from 1982, as well as the current release from the classified line. And we're going to read the file card from the 1982 Rock and Roll and determine which of those two figures best represents the character explained therein. All right.
Do it.
So let's get into this. Rock and roll, hoochie coo, rock and roll. So there he is. There's Mr. Straight Arm Rock and Roll himself. So if you see on the machine gun, the little bipod, that is the hardest accessory, one of the hardest accessories to find in any G.I. Joe toy, really. It's not one of the top 5, but top 10 for sure. The little bipods are always gone.
It's one of the hardest. It's not one of the top 5.
No, I know. I started thinking, I was like, well, gosh, there's microphones and all antennas and okay, top 20 definitely.
Never mind, guys. Just forget what I said. Yeah, it's an accessory.
Cut. Just smile. Cut. So here he is in all his blonde bearded glory. Machine gunner, codename Rock and Roll, file name McConnell Craig S. Primary military specialty infantry, secondary military specialty PT instructor, birthplace Malibu, California, grade E5. He's a sergeant. Rock and Roll was a surfer in Malibu prior to enlistment. He was also a weightlifter and played bass guitar in local rock bands. Is familiar with all NATO and Warsaw Pact light and heavy machine guns. So we got a little change from other file cards. It's not NATO Pact, Warsaw Pact light. What am I trying to say? NATO and Warsaw Pact small arms, which is what. Yeah. No, we've got light and heavy machine guns. So he's a machine gunner, which it says right there.
Right.
That's our first. That's our second clue after that he's called machine gunner.
Right there.
Graduated advanced infantry training, top of class, specialized education, covert ops school. So just looking at that, covert ops school isn't really a thing that I can find. I've talked to some special sources, and they're really not sure what that could be. So my guess is that's just something that was added so that we know that, he's got some skills there. He's got a beard, which isn't really regulation, but when you're in a special forces group, special operations group, you're allowed to have, there's room for that sort of thing. That's why you see in a lot of the Middle Eastern war dramas and movies,
what
guys
exactly,
with full beards.
What exactly is, I know it's not a real thing, but what exactly is covert ops to you?
Sitting in a car with a satellite dish, trying to listen to things like,
and being hidden.
Well, you're wearing a beard and you're trying to blend in a little bit. He's not going to blend in anywhere in the Middle East with that yellow beard, but
almost like a spy type.
A little spy stuff. Yeah, definitely spy stuff.
So when your sources tell you, I have no idea what covert ops school is. We don't have that. There's no such thing. I don't know. I kind of got to take that with a grain of salt, dude.
I see where you're going. We've never heard of such a thing.
I got to take that.
No school like that exists. Good point. We'll put an asterisk by my source. Could be lying under penalty of he'd have to kill me.
There is no such thing as a covert ops school. None.
Not a single thing doesn't exist.
No.
Okay. So now let's go into his little background here. Rock and Roll is cunning but naive, forceful but shy, possesses a strong sense of loyalty to his teammates, and is sincerely concerned about their well-being, a man of honor and integrity who can be counted on to hold the line. Yeah,
He
he's a
sounds
little
like a cowboy.
yeah, he's a little bit of everything. He's
a little bit country.
but
He's a
dumb.
little bit rock and roll.
Yeah, he's a little peanut butter, a little chocolate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So to go about his infantry background, we've talked about this and other things. Primary military specialty 11B, 11 Bravo. To be infantryman requires 22 weeks of one station unit training, which includes basic combat training and advanced individual training, courtesy of GoArmy.com. There's nothing really particularly special there. He's an infantryman who specializes in machine guns. So here's some more information about his background. So he comes from Malibu, California, which is known for its celebrity homes and beaches. Malibu. So he's very familiar with the Malibu Lagoon State Beach, which is also known as Surfrider Beach. That's generally regarded as the place where modern surf culture started. The gnarly, that whole thing that came from there. As a musician in local bands, so I picked a time frame, 1975 to 1985. These are bands that his bands may have been contemporaries with. Of the Red Hot Chili Peppers came out in that time frame, Metallica, Jane's Addiction, Motley Crue, the Bangles, Megadeth, Van Halen, Black Flag, Surf Punks, and Guns N' Roses. So some of those bands are more well known than others.
Yeah.
And they're all from the mid 70s to the mid 80s. So he might have toured with some of them. He might have played in startup bands with Slash, for instance. There's a reason I mentioned this particular frame, because in other circles, there's debate as to what kind of band he would have been a part of. When you think beaches, you first go with Beach Boys. And in looking at those lists of bands there, I didn't pick out bands that don't fit this mold. These were the bands that came up.
Right.
I don't think he was playing in Bengals bands, the Bengals cover band.
No.
I don't think so. I'm picturing him more. If you're gonna go more old school, I think Van Halen. But I think maybe somewhere in the Metallica, Megadeth sort of vibe like that. That's where I think rock and roll comes from.
Okay.
That's my opinion. That's not based on the file card. That's based on my interpretation of his character. So, well, let's see. Maybe it'll make sense as we look at the toys. However, he's not. Well, if we're going by time frame, he would be the first. But there's other notable soldiers who go from shredding to shooting. Have you heard of Jason Everman? He was guitar hero for two bands, Nirvana and Soundgarden, and then he went on to become a battlefield hero. He actually paid for the $600 it cost to record Nirvana's first album, Bleach. So that's why he's actually given credit, even though he didn't play on that album. He's on the cover of the album. And then if you look at the picture there on the left, he's the gentleman on the right across from Kurt Cobain. So yeah, he's got Nirvana cred, and he played in Soundgarden as well. Two big pillars of the Seattle sound community.
Mm-hmm.
So after leaving music behind, he joined the United States Army. He served in the 2nd Ranger Battalion and Special Forces during his tours in Iraq and Afghanistan. So he was a Ranger and a Green Beret. After his honorable discharge, he started a band with other veterans called Silence and Light. They put out a modern rock album, and he dedicated the proceeds to helping former military and first responders. So check out Silence and Light.
Awesome. Awesome.
So in there, you got a picture, a before and after picture. You got a now and then picture with Jason Everman. So that's kind of how I see rock and roll. He played in bands, and then he got into machine guns. So here's some other machine gunners in pop culture. We've got the Vietnam servicemen statue in Washington, D.C. Yeah, I know.
I'm not laughing at the statue, guys. I'm not laughing.
No. You've got the soldier with the M60 on the back. That's the gun that rock and roll is more closely associated with. We've got Sylvester Stallone in Rambo: First Blood, and I'm sure he's using it in other movies. And then probably the most culturally significant would be Fatty and the Fats.
That's who I'm laughing at.
from Tropic Thunder, Jack Black's character. What was his name? Troy something or other. But yeah, so he's carrying the hog, the pig, and yeah. So just some fun. If you think you've seen that gun before, maybe it's in one of these spots. Oh, my dog's barking like crazy. So, anyways, there you go. Those are M60 machine gunners. Here's just some qualified weapons. Again, these are the modern interpretations of what he's qualified for. We saw it with Snake Eyes. I'm not sure what the qualified weapons would have been back then, but these are what he would be qualified for now. We've got the XM250, we've got the M249, the M240, the M2A1, as called Ma Deuce in the comics. We'll see that coming up with Roadblock. Because that's the gun he's supposed to be walking around carrying without just running around with that gun. And then at the bottom, we've got the M60 there. And yeah, those are bad boys. Those are bad boys.
Nice.
There's the original packaging. What's that?
Heavy duty, man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, he's Roadblock's cousin. G.I. Joe joke. It'll make sense later.
Later on.
Get it. Here's his 82 packaging. So we've got the M60 machine gun there, and it's pretty close to an M60. I think the barrel might be a little long, and actually, if you look, he's already lost his bipod too in the picture. So maybe it is one of the top 5 lost accessories. He doesn't even have it in the picture.
Maybe. I'm trying to backpedal now, like
yeah. See, I was right. Yeah. So that's he's pretty clean cut soldier, except for his big bushy blonde beard.
He does.
And
they gave him the beard before it was fashionable.
That's right. At the time, you'd have been like, "You're not allowed to have beards," but now, yeah. Here's his figure. He's got the machine gun, he's got the bipod and the helmet, and then he's got the bullet belts strapped to his chest and back. That's about it. And that's all he needs. He's carrying a lot of weight, just carrying that.
Just that one gun. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe a pistol would have been good for him, but yeah. Again, these images, I didn't say it in this episode yet, but these classic images are brought to us by 3djoes.com. If you're not 3D Joeing, you're doing it wrong. And here's his classified box art. It's a pretty cool picture. He's got an M60-ish style machine gun. It's got a box fed ammo there. He's doing the devil horns. He's tatted up. The box art's done by Oliver Barrett. You can find him on Instagram at Oliver Barrett. There's some Easter eggs there that we don't get based on our file card research, but there's comics and cartoon inspirations there that, as we go along here. Oh, one thing to note. So you haven't seen a box style like this before. This is the new box art now. They got away from, at this time, they're doing plastic-free packaging to sort of help the environment. So this is going to last a wave or two.
Okay.
And it's been announced they're going back to the
plastic.
The plastic, yeah. Because there's a lot of collectors that don't ever open their toys, and they don't really care for this so much. So that's how it works, supply and demand. But pretty cool packaging.
Screw the environment.
Yeah, we got our rock and roll. We can't see his tats from the box. So this rock and roll is not light on accessories. He's got quite a few things. So he's got the machine gun. He's got a pistol. He's got a helmet. He's got a bipod. He has a radio. And I said it's molded in. I'm not sure why I said that, but it's not molded. It's a separate piece. Okay. He's got the ammunition box. He's got a belt. He's got the belts across his chest. He's got the loose belt. So he can feed his machine gun any way he wants. Mm-hmm. He's got 4 total hands. One is doing the devil, and one the devil horns, and one's doing a fist. And he also comes with wicked tats, brah. No. Wicked tats. He's got a little bullet thing around his wrist that is going to come off once he arrives at my doorstep. But and if you look on his helmet, if you can zoom in a little bit, it says Hang 10 written on his helmet.
Very cool.
So he's got a little bit of his rock and roll lifestyle. Was wearing that on his sleeves, literally. And then a surfer is represented with that. I like this rock and roll. I like it quite a bit. A lot of folks are bothered by that he's not true to the original in all green. I think that's probably coming. I think we're going to have to do an update episode when the retro rock and roll comes out and he's all in green.
Mhm.
We'll look at that later and see what it comes with. But right now, this is the rock and roll that we got. And I think he's pretty cool looking. So, who rocks harder?
All right.
Who you got?
Hands down. No disrespect to the original, right? I gotta go with the newer version.
Yeah,
All day.
I'm right there with you. No,
all day.
Yeah.
You know,
and I'll never use that devil horn hand. I'll never use it, but I don't need to. He rocks. Everything about him rocks hard.
I like that because that basically it's him. According to his file card and everything that he's done, right? You know, he's played in a rock and roll band. He's a surfer. He's a bodybuilder. Like he lift weight. This is what you do, baby. You throw those double horns out there.
Yeah.
Okay. That is rock. Wait, that is rock and roll. I like it. I think that's awesome, man. Even though his face right there in that particular doll,
right,
looks like Woody Harrelson. Like if you look at it,
yeah.
But all day, man, I like it. I think that's the dude that's gonna lay down the suppressive fire. You know, he's gonna go and then he's gonna blast everything, waiting to get you out of there. He's ready.
I think that this rock and roll, the original, is probably what that one looked like when he started with G.I. Joe, and he's like, I can do my own thing now. Tap me up, you know. And now he's wearing that.
Right. Yeah.
That's who rock and roll wants to look like, and I think that is the
I agree.
Rock and rolliest rock and roll.
I got to go with the newer classified series version.
Yeah.
I think that's awesome. He's built because those things are freaking heavy. You know what I mean?
They are. Yeah.
All right, and the way he's
I know.
That's the dude
but they are.
that you want. God, I always get that wrong. That's the dude. That's the dude that you want.
Yeah. And for me, since I broke off his gun thumb, the original one, when I was a lad, he would always drive the ram cycle.
A wee lad.
Yeah, a wee lad. So he would look, the new one, the classified version, would look excellent on that ram motorcycle that came with Breaker 4 or 5 episodes ago.
Yes.
Yeah, he would look awesome on that.
I like that.
Yeah, so I think, that's the classified rock and roll all day.
All day. I'm with you. Everything, and it's all it. We got another one.
Yeah, we got a new one to add on here. Yeah, he's gonna go right in there next to Snake Eyes.
Yeah, Snake Eyes for life.
Snake Eyes for life. All right, now the kids have been craving it. The kids are screaming for it these days on the street. You can't go anywhere without hearing, "Who are you casting now?" Well, let's find out.
It's true.
So, casting call. So, I'll go first this time.
All right.
And I chose, this is a hard one. This is a difficult one. So, for those unfamiliar with casting call, we only have one rule, and that's there are no rules except the one rule, which is the actor or actress has to come from the home state of the character we're looking at. So, Rock and Roll hails from Malibu, California. Not really hard to find an actor from California, if you can believe that. But to find the one to portray Craig McConnell accurately, that was a challenge for me. But I think I found a good one. We've got Taylor Handley. So this is a younger picture of him. He's in Mayor of Kingstown now.
Okay.
He is Jeremy Renner's brother in that show.
Okay.
And he plays a cop. He's got some problems, but he's been in Battlefield Los Angeles, which, say what you want about the movie, but he was a soldier in that.
Okay.
He was in Chasing Mavericks, which was a surf movie with Gerard Butler. and yeah, he's also in Mayor of Kingstown. So I think he can pull it off. He's done the surfer thing. He's from California. He was also the bully kid from Jack Frost, the Snowman movie.
Yeah. Okay.
Like you might recognize that face as the bully kid.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think he could do it. You know, is he gonna be the star of the rock and roll movie? No, they won't make a rock and roll movie. But in an ensemble movie, I think he could do it.
Well,
who do you got?
I gotta be honest with you. You know, I know what our rules are.
Yes.
But
I'm intrigued. Hold on, let me get close.
Sometimes I'm a little bit of a rebel. Okay.
Oh.
I gotta just say, screw the rules. All right.
Hold on, let me get the kids. They gotta see this.
Because for me, it was just I saw the actors from California. We have a plethora of actors from California. But when you look at somebody like rock and roll, what he embodies, for me, I just couldn't see any of them, you know, that stood out to me.
Right. That's true. I had a hard time as well.
Yeah. One guy, which is one of my favorite actors, and I don't know him personally, obviously, but he's one of my favorite human beings on the
I thought you were talking about me for a second.
But, well, you know, yeah, you know, if you had a 10, you rock it, bro. All you need is some color, and then you got it.
Just for men, baby. Just for men.
That's it, baby. Tom Hardy. I gotta go with Tom Hardy, man. For me.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Gotta go with Tom Hardy, and I'm gonna share the screen right here. This is a man.
I think I've already seen the picture. I think I see it in my head. I think I know.
Is a man that can do it. You know, he is the guy. This is the guy that I see. He can hold a machine gun. He can go surfing with you. He can play in a band. Okay. Yeah. This is that dude.
Yeah.
Tom Hardy, for me, hands down, is rock and roll. Like and think about him. Have you ever seen him in Warrior?
I'm familiar with the part. Okay. I don't think I've seen.
So hold on 1 second.
He's a boxer or MMA guy or something, isn't he?
Yes. So Hardy, like I'm a warrior.
I'll say this about Tom Hardy. When he punches somebody, I've never seen outside of Mike Tyson somebody punch with such ferocity.
No.
Now, granted, these are movies, but his punches look like he's snapping necks.
Yes, man. Like he's rough with it.
Yeah.
This is a big, like he got so big for this particular role.
Right.
And all he needs right now is a beard.
Yeah.
That's all he needs.
Yeah.
Beard. For me, that's it. And so as soon as we started talking about, you know, the character and doing rock and roll, the other one was Chris Hemsworth. Okay, because I just saw Extraction, right?
Oh yeah.
Like, okay, yeah,
I get that.
Not a knock on Thor at all, dude. You're awesome, but Tom Hardy for me, man, that's the guy, man. That is it. Like he can get into whatever role you need him to be.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
Be comfortable. We're like, man, okay, that's rock and roll right there. He can hold a machine gun down. He can go surfing. He's gonna play in a band. Like that's the guy.
You know, it's funny you mentioned Chris Hemsworth because I'm thinking, well, Australia is simultaneously the California and the Texas of other countries.
It is. All right, Mike. You know, we should just go with Paul Hogan. Okay.
Oh God.
Crocodile Dundee, baby.
All
right. That's not a knife.
Yeah.
This is a knife.
Yeah.
Sorry to anybody from Australia.
Yeah.
That's just the way. You got top so funny. The Kingsmen.
I love your accent. Where are you from? New Jersey. Oh.
I got it.
California.
I just
good night, mate.
I could not see anybody else like for me playing that role, and I had to.
See that.
I just had to go with it, man.
No, I'll allow it. It is a strong pick, and yeah, I can see it because from the Revenant, he was in the Revenant, and he had a beard. He's kind of bushy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hollywood does that all the time, anyway.
All the time.
Yeah, all the time. You know, they pick people from everywhere to play anything. So
I know it's true. Maybe we should drop our no rule as
no. I think I like it. Like I said,
like the kids love it.
I just felt like being a rebel.
No, that's right. We're a pretty rebel show, and you're the rebelest rebel of the rebel show.
You.
Oh, you.
I told myself I wasn't gonna cry.
I
Wasn't gonna cry, but
they like me.
they really like you. No, seriously, that I'm just a Tom Hardy fan, man. He's just
he's a beast.
Even outside of his, acting and all of that, like he's just a great human being. All you hear is awesome stories about the person that he is. He's like Keanu Reeves. Basically.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
he's just like a better actor than Keanu Reeves is. I gotta be honest. Like, they just awesome.
Yeah.
Nobody has a negative thing to say ever about this movie.
You merely adopted Malibu. I was born in it. That's not a very good Bane, but
yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah. No, that's a good cast. I like that.
Yeah.
Awesome. I think you win that one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
I was trapped in the box.
No, yeah.
You were thinking outside of it. I'm trapped in this.
Got to break out of it,
Think outside the bun. No, I wasn't.
Yeah, I'm a. What's from the other guys? I'm a peacock. You gotta let me fly.
Yeah.
Oh,
Little, I got LRB, 5 CDs. I've always got Little River Band. Oh, great movie.
Oh yeah. Whew.
Well, so we found the most rockinest, rollingest rock and roll, and that is the classified rock and roll. So run out there today and get your best rock and roll. Now, again, this is going to have a little asterisk because I predict, I'm using my Kreskin mind, that they're going to make an all green rock and roll. So we'll have to revisit this in the future and do a America's Most Wanted update and see, who, if he can retain the crown, so to speak.
Okay.
If he can continue to rock hard.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah. So, I am Agent Chuckles. Thank you for joining us. I'm with
Steve the Writing Dad.
You can find all of our social medias down below in the description. I hope you liked us. Hope you liked the episode. Please like and subscribe. Tell your friends. Write letters to your senator. Anything you got to do would be greatly appreciated. And we have fun. I hope that it translates. I think it does.
Do it.
Yeah, and then again, links are in the description.
Do it.
So, anyways, thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Yo, Joe, everybody.
Yo, Joe, guys.
All right, here we go.